Can you see me? Yes, you can. Let's just a little bit. Okay, today is another Spinning Wednesday. We are back on my front porch because, again, as part of our year of self-care, I just want to remind you that June is get outside in the sun. Now, I did spin on the deck for a short time earlier today with Ina, so we had a nice time spinning on the deck. And now I am out on my porch because I thought, okay, it's super sunny out, and thought it might be fine to spin on my porch. So I have my wheel with me, and we're going to talk through some things. I did get just 1/3. If you remember, we split my roving into thirds the last time we did Spinning Wednesday. So I did get 1/3 finished today of my 75/25 BFL in silk that was dyed by my friend Shannon at Singing Raven Farm. So I have 1/3 done, and we're going to talk about how to take that off and how to put on the new bobbin and do all of those things. And hey, Kathy! So that's on the agenda, but I just want to remind you, if you're playing along with our year of self-care, to make sure that you have set some goals for yourself, that you get outside, that you take advantage of what sunshine you can find. And hey, Bev, nice to see you too. And make sure that you are taking those pictures and posting them to social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Okay, YouTube and TikTok are both videos. But anyway, post it so we can find it. Tag us, Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, so that we can find you and enter you in our monthly contest. It's anything you're working on, whatever you're working on. It doesn't necessarily have to go with our theme. So, whatever makes you happy, man. Take a photo. Throw it up online. Tag us, Black Sheep Fiber Emporium. Let's see, I added a few classes today, so I added another round of the beginning shuttle tatting. My first class for the next round starts tomorrow night, and Kathy, I think you're my only student, so we're going to have private lessons. It'll be all kinds of fun. But I added another session for that. I put up Oops, Do I Have to Knit It Again, which is a one-off class where we work on mistakes like missed yarn overs, drop stitches, miscrossed cables, things like that, and I teach you how to fix them. I also put up, I think, beginning lace knitting. I put up another session of that, and I put up another session of, I think, beginning Estonian lace. So I'm putting up a whole bunch of classes. If there's something that you want, let me know, and I will do my very best to get that up on the website soon. I am trying to revamp the website to make it look better, so if things seem wonky or links are broken, let me know so I can fix it, because I am tinkering with stuff and trying to make sure that I fix all the problems, but if I miss something, please let me know. What else do I need to remind you about? Next month is our Christmas in July, so that's make or buy something special, wrap it up for yourself. Because we're having our Christmas in July for ourselves, not for other people, for ourselves. So just a little reminder there. What else is going on? Tina's got her morning coffees on YouTube, so make sure that you've subscribed to our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on those. I've been trying to put up some fun stuff on TikTok and Instagram again, although I need to do more things for TikTok because, it's just one of those things. Every day, gotta put a little something up. If you aren't, doing slow crawl, you should think about doing slow crawl because we have a bunch of people that are participating this year. We've sold almost all of our passports. I think we're gonna order more, and it looks like it's gonna be a really, really fun year for slow yarn crawl. I think we've got like 50 patterns. There's a ton. And 32 shops, and it's so much fun. It's just so much fun, and it's slow, so you can take your time. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, then you can go crawl around and actually do the shops, and if you're not, you can couch crawl. Just order online, and it ships right to you, and you still get to crawl, which, it's like fun, right? It's fun. So anyway, today we are doing spinning. Next week we are back to tatting, I think, and then I kind of had this idea So if it sounds fun, I have a bunch of extra quart jars, and I have a lot of wool and like white hand spun fiber hanging around. I think you know where this is going. I want to play with some solar dyeing. So who thinks it would be fun if I did a little seshy sesh on solar dyeing one week? We could do like a Monday, Wednesday, and Monday I could throw the stuff in and we could do the solar dyeing and talk about the process, and Wednesday we could see what happened. What do you think? Would that be kind of fun? I'm thinking it'd be kind of fun. So I kind of want to throw that one in the rotation, and I want to take you out to show you my garden too. So those things are definitely going to be coming up in future weeks, and we'll also be doing more weaving. I kind of want to make a rag rug, and I kind of want to use my hand spun. So those are two projects that are sort of coming up. Two things. I haven't decided which one to do next, but definitely thinking of those. Oh, you guys are like commenting today. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Yes, Saturday is Worldwide Knit in Public Day, and Sunday's Worldwide Spin in Public Day. Are you sure Spin in Public is in September? Well, I don't know. I know Knit in Public Day is definitely Saturday. The rest of them I don't remember. But yeah, that is definitely coming up, and it's a great day to go out and get your photos for either the Experience Challenge, if you haven't done those in your passport yet, or for your Year of Self-Care to be entered for prizes. So, both of those super fun. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when you have filled up one bobbin and you're ready to start the next one. So the first thing that I did was I loosened my brake band and I took it off my bobbin. Turn my wheel. So I took my brake band off of my bobbin here. And because I have the magnetic flyer head, which the Kromsky Fantasia and Sonata both have. The Fantasia comes with it. The Sonata, it's an add-on, but it's a good one. And if you don't have it, you should get it. It's really nice. Anyway, so with that, I just hold my whirl and you sort of rotate back and forth and I pop apart. And now my bobbin can come off. And one of the things that I always do is with the magnetic flyer head, you don't need nearly as much oil as you do with the regular flyer head. So at this point, I always like to just go ahead and clean off my flyer shaft here, and then I like to put just a little dab of oil back on for my bobbin, just to help with any friction and any wear. And then I always put it on so that my fat end goes on first, and then because I tend to forget this, I put my brake band on next. Some people would say you put your flyer on and then put your brake band on, but yeah, I tend to forget. So brake band, then the flyer. That way I don't forget. And I always set my brake band pretty loose because I don't want there to be a lot of draw on this one. With the Scotch tension, I don't want a lot of draw. I want it to just barely take up for me. I don't want to be pulling and fighting my fiber back out of my orifice. So that's the next thing I do. And I already have my drive band set where I want it. It's very loose. There's just enough pull on it so that it's moving, and I don't want a really tight drive band because I don't want to put any extra stress on it. I don't want it to break. So those are the things I do. I take my brake band off, remove that magnetic flyer, pull the bobbin off, clean it, put a little oil back on, throw the new bobbin on with the fat end on the far end, because both of these have different speeds at which you can control your bobbins. But I always like to use my fat end so that the rate at which my bobbin rotates versus my wheel is slower, if that makes sense. So let's see, what was I saying? Yeah, so put your brake band back on, put your flyer back on. I forget where I am in my process. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to set yourself up for spinning. Hold still. So I'm just going to slide my hook up here. I'm going to pull my loops through, and the orifice holes are small enough and my loops are big enough that for the most part I don't even use an orifice hook anymore, because I can just pop my leader through. So this is the leader from my bobbin, and I think, yeah, it's set for the other direction. Let's see if I can get it to spin There we go. And then I go ahead and get my leader set so that it's ready to go in the direction that I like to spin. And I always like to go clockwise for my singles, counterclockwise for my plied. And it's just what works for me. It's what I remember. So that's how I spin. Some spinners would maybe do it differently. Now the next thing that I do, if I haven't already, is I evaluate my fiber, and I want to make sure that it's not really compacted. And because I've already taken this and split it into 3 portions, it's a little bit fluffy, but it's not as fluffy as I would like. And I'm not pre-drafting, I am just pre-fluffing. I want to pull my fibers apart a little bit so that it's a little bit easier to spin. That's all I'm doing. So I like to just take it, you know, like an arm spans out, and just sort of fluff my fiber. Again, I'm not trying to pre-draft this. Pre-drafting would be pulling it out so that it's already partially ready to spin, so that it's like halfway to the thickness that you want or whatever. And I'm not doing that. That was a loud motorcycle. All I'm doing is just fluffing. Fluffity fluff fluffing. Fluffity fluff fluffing. Just like this. And the goal, again, is just to open this up to make sure that it's not super compacted, to give a little more air between my fibers. And this will help you to be more consistent in your spinning as well if you take the time to pre-fluff. You have to remember that if you're buying dyed roving, that this roving went to the mill and then it got packed up and it got squished. And then if you're not buying it from the mill, then you're buying it from a dyer. So it got packed up and it got squished again when it went to the dyer. And it got squished when it went into the dye bath, and it got squished when it came out of the dye bath. And then if, you know, it was shipped to you, then it got squished when it was shipped to you. So it's really, really helpful to go through and just give it a little fluff. The other thing is that because I like to roll mine into balls, that adds some twist, which can also add some compaction. So I just like to floofity floof, floofity floof, again, about like an arm span to get me started. And then what I will do is I'll periodically stop and keep fluffing as I go through. So, you know, that's what I do. And hi, Angelus, it's nice to see you again. Make sure nobody has a question. Let's see. Nope. Okay, good. Alrighty, so to get started spinning then, again, we have to remember that we're going clockwise. Set myself. I always like to set myself so that my orifice is directly in front of me. And one of the things I really love about the magnetic flyer for the Kramski Sonata, and by the way, we do sell these, so if you're looking for one, I can have it shipped to you. Just mentioning. One of the things I really love is that the orifice sits further forward. With the other flyer on the Kramski Sonata, it sits further back and it sits farther away from you. And I really like that my orifice is forward on this one, that it's closer to the base of the pedals or the treadles, if you don't want to call them pedals, because they aren't really pedals, they're treadles. So that's something that I really appreciate. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just like sort of pre-draft a tiny little bit out. I'm going to take my leader and just wrap. I'm actually wrapping it, so I'm taking it up and I'm going to wrap it and hold it together right here. And then I just want to start treadling a little bit so I can start putting some twist in. I'm going to lean back. Uh-oh. Yeah. And I don't have my leader set quite right on this one, so I have to hand wind it on a little bit. You shouldn't have to do that, but I don't have mine quite tight enough, so. But now that it's started wrapping on, okay, I'm going to set my brake pan just a little bit tighter. There we go. There's a little more take up. Yeah. And you're just going to start, I'm already making yarn. So you're just going to sort of adjust that last hook, because they have sliding hooks on the magnetic flyer, which I like as well. And then we are going to treadle and draft. And if you have a section that's a little bit too fat, you can just slow your treadling down or stop altogether. And you can draft your fiber apart, just like this. And you can even sit back and spin. This isn't great on my back though, this one's too far back. but you can relax, you can treadle, and spin to your heart's content. Okay, it's too far back. Too far back. I have one chair that I really like to spin in, and then I actually quite like, I have an IKEA folding chair and a, what do they call that? It's like a foam pillow that is meant to help with sciatic nerve issues, which I bought when I was pregnant with Ina because she kept putting her head in my sciatic nerve. Anyway, and I actually like to take that squishy pillow and put it on my folding chair from IKEA. Just a very inexpensive folding chair from IKEA. And I like to spin on that. It's very comfortable to spin on that, and I can lean back, and I've got good back support. So those are I have two chairs. Actually, they're both IKEA chairs. One's like just a regular faux leather chair, and the other one is a folding chair. So let's see. Once you've spun a little bit, you'll have some build up. Turn this to the side. You'll have some build up here, so you'll need to slide your hook forward a little bit so that as you keep spinning, it builds up a cop, I think is the right word, of yarn. And oh, I've managed to get like fluff all over me. Fluff everywhere. Oh, and I wore black. Well, you're gonna see fluff all over me today. What can I say? Alrighty, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about on this Spinning Wednesday, sort of a really basic primer of how I get started. I use kind of a modified pinch-pull method most of the time. I was trying to practice long draw. I probably need to practice that again. So maybe when we do our next Spinning Wednesday, we'll talk about long draw and spinning long draw. I think I want to put a fun solar dyeing session up for our events on a Monday, Wednesday, where like Monday we talk about all the things we need, and we put everything in the jars, and then Wednesday we come back and talk about what worked and what didn't, and take everything out of the jars, or I don't know, something like that. I don't fully have it fleshed out. Like I was thinking about it this morning. But I might have already ordered some dye. Just throwing that out there. And I might have already talked to my friends at Singing Raven Farm, which would be Shannon, and Pearly Shell, which would be Heather, about doing some fun solar dyeing. I think Ina would get a huge kick out of it too. I could do some Kool-Aid dyeing with her. I think she'd think that was fun. So anyway, trying to move my... And the funny thing is, you end up having to move your hook a lot more as you get started than you will later on. So anyway, yeah, this is part 2. This is the second section, and then once I get the third section done, then I will put it on my fancy Lazy Kate, and I will ply my 3 plies together and make a really fun yarn. And this is 75% BFL, 25% silk. So it spins like butter. I mean, it's just so easy. It is so easy to spin. I mean, honestly, I did this entire thing this morning already, like with Ina while we're trying to potty train, while we were on the deck and she was running around naked so that we could try to potty train. It's interesting, put it that way. But she was very, very intelligently telling me exactly how to make yarn and how to spin the fiber, and she thought it was super fun to tell me how to spin and make yarn. So that was pretty funny this morning. I got that on video, but then she was kind of naked, so I decided I probably shouldn't have that on video. So then I did a voice recording instead. Probably smarter, don't you think? Probably smarter. Anyway, so if you have ideas for things that you want me to teach, because right now I've kind of set up Mondays as my lace day and Wednesdays as my spinning, weaving, sewing day, then pop me a message or leave a comment so I know, and I'll try to get it slotted in. Next week we are looking at more tatting on Monday, and then Wednesday will be embroidery, because I have an embroidery that I started, a sampler I started last year, and yeah, it's time to get that done. I also pulled out a shawl that I'm working on, and I'm probably going to need a test knitter sometime soon. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. It's a pretty easy one. It's 2 colors, so it takes 2 skeins, fingering weight, and it involves slip stitches and lace and increases. So you have to be comfortable with those things. 2 colors, slip stitches, lace, and increases. You have to be able to count. Counting is very important for knitting. So yeah, anyway, that's coming up. All right, and then I'm hoping that I will be inspired to draft out my pattern for the lace shawl that I was talking about Monday, sometime soon, hopefully. Anyhow. All right, so just some reminders then before we go, since I don't really see any questions about spinning or any of that stuff. Slow Yarn Crawl is happening now, so if you don't have your passport and you want to play along, well, you got time, because we have the whole summer to get it done. But it is fun, and we have started, so you can start collecting your patterns. Let's see, don't forget to post your experiences. It's hashtag Slow Yarn Crawl Experiences, I think, or SYC Experiences. It's in your passport. It's also on the website, so you can check that out there. What else do I need to tell you? Don't forget about the Year of Self-Care while you're doing your experiences and things, because you could cross-post, just like tag us in both, and it'll count for both, because that's just the kind of cool cat I am. And like I said, I didn't have anybody last month, so I couldn't give away a prize. And I like giving away prizes. It's not fun. So if you'd like to play along, I would love to hear from you. All you gotta do is just tag us on social media, Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, and I think maybe it's SYC Experiences. And I'll have to get that. I'll put the hashtag up in the comments on this video, that way I get it right. What else do I need to tell you guys? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, so Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you're checking out Tina's videos. She has all kinds of fun stuff that she puts up with those morning coffee chats with Tina. And yeah, we're going to do fun stuff. I'm going to put more fun things up as we rotate through. I also want to do some needle felting with you guys, and I also want to do what else do I want to do? I mean, there's so many things. There's so many fun things that we can do with fiber. So if you are new to spinning and you're practicing, it's always a great idea to just go ahead. Man, I've got like fibers sticking to me everywhere. There we go. To throw on a video that you really want to watch and spin in front of it, because that really helps you to get down the motion of treadling plus your hands. And it does take a little while to get that. You can start by just treadling. Just treadle your wheel to get used to the motion of it. Don't put anything else on it. And then you can add in fiber. That helps a ton. So, let's see, I have a comment here. It says, oh, cool. Yes, Kathy, we'll definitely talk. We will definitely talk about test knitting and stuff. Because it's actually for Heather. I need a test knit done for Heather so that she has something that, you know. Anyway, I'll talk to you. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up. Well, we may be on the porch, we may be on the deck. It's going to depend on the day. And we may be in the house if it's too hot and I can't handle it. We'll see. But at least right now, it's kind of pleasant out here on the deck. And I think I'm going to head back in, take my wheel in, and get set up and do a little bit of knitting, because I really want to get that shawl done. Oh, and I also have bad news. So, well, it's kind of bad news. I think most of you know that I have been on a bit of a ducky saga because I have magpies, which are not a super popular breed of ducks. You know, they're out there, but they aren't as popular as like Ruins or Pekins or call ducks or mallards or Indian runner ducks. So I have magpie ducks, and my male decided to be very, very unintelligent. That would be dumb, very dumb. Because all of the ducks had been crossing the road back and forth, even though I was trying to keep them from doing it. And I live on a highway, that's why you keep hearing lots of traffic. He got hit and he died. So, and I even had like a pen and stuff, but I let them out for a little while because I knew they needed to go play in the water and clean up. And I was trying to keep an eye on them, but I just didn't do a very good job of it. And I do have 3 acres. I have a 3-acre property. We have a giant 1-acre pond, and yet they decided to cross the road. So anyway, all I had left were my 2 girls. I had put eggs in the incubator. They were kind of growing. Turns out my incubator kind of sucks and really needs to be monitored far more than what I was doing. So I ended up with no hatched ducklings whatsoever. So I got really upset because I had no drake to make more fertile eggs, and I had no ducklings because, you know, the incubator sucked kind of. And so I went online and I ordered ducklings, and I got a call the day that they were due to be shipped in May from the hatchery saying, we had a bad hatch. Do you want your money back, or do you want us to move the hatch date? So yesterday was supposed to have been the day that my ducklings got shipped, and I got another call from the hatchery. So I have no ducklings coming. They moved my hatch date to June 29th, but honestly I'm just gonna call them and cancel it because I found somebody in Missouri, and he does live 3.5 hours away. And Saturday I am making a round trip to go buy magpie ducklings so that we can have some darn ducklings this summer, and I can get a replacement drake to go with my girls so that next year we can try to hatch out our own ducklings again, and hopefully it'll go much better because I now have 2 incubators and 2 Wi-Fi enabled temperature and humidity monitors, which they're Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled. That way I can keep track of them on my phone so that hopefully I can hatch some darn ducks. But at least I know I'm not the only one having problems. I mean, the hatchery has had 2 bad hatches, so it's not just me. But anyway, I'm going to go pick up ducklings on Saturday, so maybe next week I can show you the new ducklings. Cross your fingers nothing goes wrong this weekend when I go to pick up my little ducklings, because yeah, it has been a ducky saga, I tell you. Alrighty, well, thanks for tuning in and listening to my live videos every week, and especially today as I tell you about my poor ducky problems. Remember, we have all kinds of fun stuff going on. If you have suggestions for classes or suggestions for videos, let me know, because I'm always open to taking your suggestions and seeing what I can do with them. I love to teach, I love to learn, and I love to share my knowledge. So I am going to, like I said, move inside, I think. At least I got a little more spinning done while I was talking to you guys. That's another thing, is it's easier for me to talk and spin than it is for me to talk and knit. Where's my... Nope, wrong way. There we go. Anyway, so until next time, please do take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, craftually, as I like to say. Make sure that you're still washing your hands and practicing good hygiene. That's a very important thing. We had to learn a lot about hygiene today as Ina and I were talking about potty training and where to put your hands and where not to put your hands. So anyway, do please wash those hands often and well. And anyway, I will see you all next Monday. I put the events up, I think, for at least the next couple of weeks. So make sure that you go, at least click that you're interested, even if you don't plan on going. because it does help me so that I can reach more people and share these videos, so that I can teach and answer questions and just do outreach for fiber arts, because I love my fiber arts and I like sharing it with everyone. So yeah, until Monday, please take care of yourselves and make time to craft, and don't forget to post your Slow Yarn Crawl experiences and your Black Sheep Fiber Emporium's Year of Self-Care experiences. Remember, you can double dip. Yeah, you can double dip and just tag them with both. Totally don't mind that. In fact, I would love it if I saw some of that going on. So, all right, guys. Until Monday, I will see you later. I might have to go pet this again. It is, lovely BFL and silk. So, see you Monday.